Good evening. I'm Gavin Browning. I'm from Consky High School. I'm going to talk to you for 7 minutes, is it? So it's going to be a very quick sort of run through some PowerPoint. I'm very sort of interested in how PowerPoint can be used to make the classroom environment a stimulating one. I like it also because it's very adaptable as well. You can adapt it and change it and so on. So I'm going to show you some things which could be used to promote literacy and improve literacy. Some of these could be starters, and you can use some fork time if you're so inclined for that. Like it shares. Very good. Okay, so you can hear me. Right, so first of all, text purposes. That's a good start. Is it linked up, this?
Yeah, it's working before.
It is it? Right, okay, let's try again. Yes, okay. Brilliant. And what I've sort of put together here is maybe a piece of text. Okay, so you've got a little bit of text. This is about smoking and the dangers of smoking. I think that's a good message, isn't it? And so basically across here you've got the idea of these purposes of writing. And so perhaps you could have a look at this text here and think about, well, I think it might be instructive a little bit. And not recounting, so you can basically agree or disagree. This is a PowerPoint I've yet to sort of finalise, so I'm just going to make a few changes to it. But one of the good things about PowerPoint, which people aren't aware of, is you can basically annotate. So if for example, they thought it was an instructional piece, you could actually get them up on the board and actually circling up. Let's just try that again. Try again. There you go. Okay, so, and you can actually get them circling up and annotating keywords and so on as to why you think that. One reason I wanted to do this is because I think with language, very diverse, you can't always split it into 6 sort of reasons for writing. Very often a piece of writing will have elements of describing and elements of instructing as well. You can drop any text in and use this as a standalone format underneath and just copy and paste the actual slide. And that's one of the good things you can do with PowerPoint as well. Okay, just moving on to the next part. Okay, this is Keyword Hangman. This basically came out of an app which is on my son's iPhone, and basically they like to sort of play in the car and board and so on very often. And the idea is here to get a clue. And so you need this to get along with people, but it also helps you enjoy the elements. Does anyone know the answer? No? Okay. And so basically, if you have a class, you can split them into 2 sides, so take turns. And so reveal left, anyone? No, let's go to this side. Anyone? Goodness. Right. Anyone yet? Are there any scientists in the room?
Chemistry.
So, yes, chemistry is the answer. Yes, don't any sweets or any complicated sweets, I don't think any. So, and then maybe a following pass. And the idea behind this, I'm going to look at creating words which are linked with every single subject. So you've got science words, you've got keywords, and actually sort of put this into a system behind. It's dead simple with PowerPoint. Once you create one, you just copy and paste, and you just actually put the word behind, and you just type it in really quickly. Because all the font and stuff like that is already formatted as well. It works through animation design as well, then you can review the whole thing if you want to go ahead. There you go. Okay, so the next one, sentence parts. I think this is handy, thinking about the idea of the relationship between sort of syntactic sort of links between words. So you've got subject, verb, object. And the idea is here you can click on a particular postcard. This is something I created for another unit, but changed slightly for this. The idea is looking how can you make the best sentence. So how can you link the subject with verb, with the object, and this idea of the structure behind the sentence, which might be quite good maybe for students that get into grips with the elements of sentence. And that's the idea behind this. And you can also actually, again, you can change some of the elements to sort of have a bit of fun with it as well and make up some alternative sentences. Okay, right, spelling rules. This is from a unit which, again, we worked on, or something on RAID, wasn't it, which was an adaptation of that. The idea is here, we talk about sort of spelling rules, and perhaps you might have like a whole school policy on spelling, different rules you might want to learn, different strategies. And what you could have coming up here, you can have a strategy, possibly here, or it could be a rule, whatever it is really. And the idea is you can look at all these words, hide for you exact accuracy. And can anyone tell me 2 words from here which might, which that rule links to? Anyone give us 2 words?
Received.
Received, I am, and
Deceived.
deceive, oh yes. And there are a couple more as well. And the idea is you can sort of get kids looking at patterns, finding out sort of patterns behind things. And this is really great because you can stick anything on there. You can sort of type over it and write there. So the whole idea here is that they are adaptable. Just click again to put the red back on. So there's a best of 5 activity really. So it means the sort of selection process is happening in the classroom. Spelling goes. Now, obviously the Euros are on at the moment, so or something topical with a sort of football link. So it's you know, you could possibly have. Well, I'll show you an animation first of all. So where are their coats? So which one is it? Do we think? Okay, we think it's that one. That one, yeah. Oh, and as you notice there, the sound of whistling winds. It's like a sort of. So is that like a sort of a Rooney penalty? Is it? So on current form. Whereas, of course, if you do Gareth Bale's job, there you go. It goes in, goes across. Okay, so you could have some nice animations going across there. I think really with this one, let's go back into it again. Actually, this one because let's have a quick look. There are a number of sort of spellings where I put in keyword spellings and they have to come up and get the right one. Again, you can sort of get the class sort of competing against each other, maybe who gets the most goals, whatever it is you want to do with that. But the idea is you look at sort of key elements. Very good as a starter. So for example, you're doing something in leaflets, you might have all the words to do with leaflets, or whatever it is, the topic sentences of it. Okay. Now, if you actually come out of this, what I've done at the bottom PowerPoint, which I might show you afterwards actually, there's a way of identifying which one is the correct one. And there's just three types of PowerPoint, 3 slides. And one is obviously, this one's the correct one, this one's the correct one, that one's the correct one. But you can decide which one you're going to use. So I hope that makes sense. So you can decide which slide you're going to use and simply adapt. Okay, right. And bounce. Okay, this is, again this works, this is custom animation driven. And the idea is you press the start button like that. And you come up and sort of, it's really good if you pick on someone tiny. They have to start jumping. That's what it's called, bounce. And the idea is you have to get the right words. So something. Which one do you think it is? That one? No, it's. Let's have a look. Like that. And so if you click right when it stops. Okay, and the idea is here that it might link to perhaps. They might get a question which links to it. There is a version of this where I've cut that out, and basically the word disappears, the box stays, and they have to remember the spelling of it. So it's almost like a look, say, cover, check sort of thing going on, but on a PowerPoint sort of basis. And again, you can get sort of kids sort of competing with each other and so on in class. Okay. And it goes on like that. Okay, so it's, again, very, very simply, once you create one slide, and you can change, I've actually changed which one is the correct one in each one. So I've signified it's either north, east or west, which one of those 3. And whichever one's correct, you have to type in the correct word. 2 bogus ones on the other 2. Okay? So, I think that's it really, because it's okay, and just a final thing I'd just like to say is that we work in partnership with NGFL really, basically a mapping exercise in areas. So the idea is that each subject you're going to look at how the literacy framework objectives and all the elements of it are going to feed into each subject. So that if schools wanted to take that on to have a look at that, it might be very useful to ensure that all the elements of the literacy framework are picked up across the curriculum. And that's something which we're going to be starting, I think, over the next half term, isn't it? And carrying forward then for the next beginning of the new term. Okay, thank you.